Hello and welcome back to another edition of Will's Grill Shack. Today we're going to be doing Duncan's ribs. And now you're probably asking yourself, what the hell are Duncan's ribs? But a subscriber here called Duncan, he's been subscribed to the channel since really I started doing any kind of Broil King videos. He absolutely loved Broil King and he reached out to me over email and said, I've got to try this amazing Asian jasmine tea smoked recipe. And he did it on a duck, but he said you can do it on ribs. And you know how much I love ribs, so I thought, let's do it on ribs. Now, as soon as I saw this recipe come through in my inbox, I knew I had to do a video on it, and I got all excited about doing a video on it. So Duncan, I really hope that you enjoy this video, and I really hope that I've done your recipe justice. So we're also going to be using Iberico pork today. I had another rack of those in the freezer, so really fancy giving those a go, and we're going to be doing it on the Broil King keg. So let's head over to the bench and I'm going to show you how to prep your ribs. And here are the ribs we're using. St. Louis cut Iberico ribs. I did some of these on the offset Yoda that I had. Amazing ribs, so really looking forward to seeing how these turn out. And you can see, look at the marble and look at the fat on it. These are going to be good. Okay, so let's make the rub first of all for the ribs. So we're going in with 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of five spice, 2 teaspoons of crushed chilies, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, and 1 tablespoon of ground coriander. Now we're just going to mix all of that together, and you can see it's smelling nice actually. It's not much, I don't know what's going to give it the colour on this though, on the ribs, but I'm sure it will all come true. And that is all mixed up and ready to go on the ribs. So we're just going to go in with the rub liberally over the top as per Duncan's instructions, and that is all sides coated and covered. As you can see, a little bit of a split down here, which could cause me a few problems later on, but I'm sure it'll be okay. So we're just going to pop those now into the fridge for 24 hours as per Duncan's instructions. Okay, so the ribs are now in the fridge, so now let's go make up our smoking packet, which I've never done this before, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of flavours and smells come out of this smoking packet. Okay, so to make our smoke packet, as Duncan calls it, which is basically going to be our smoke, our additional flavour that we're going to add in. We're going to go in with some star aniseed, we've got jasmine tea, quite a lot of jasmine tea going in there, jasmine rice, cinnamon sticks, ginger, the skin of some orange there, and some red peppercorns. Nearly missed one thing, half a cup of brown sugar. And you see it's a lovely mix of colours, so we're just going to give that a good shake up, get that all combined together. And then this is going to go straight into the fridge for 24 hours along with the ribs. The smoking packet also is going into the fridge for 24 hours, so join me tomorrow when we're going to finish off doing these and put the ribs onto the Broil King keg. Okay, it's the next day. These ribs are smelling seriously good, so let's go over, let's fire up the Broil King keg and let's get these ribs on. Okay, and we've got a firebox full of revolted charcoal. Just get that lit. Just let that catch. Okay, and the mix for the smoke box that we put in the fridge overnight, all we've done is add it into the Broil King smoke box, and then what we're going to do is just put that on underneath the ribs, and we're just going to let that smoulder away. But the smell from this is absolutely amazing. Okay, so Broil King is at 110. Let's get this big old rack of ribs, just about fits on there. Bunch those up and then just close that down. We're going to go half an hour before we put our smoke box in. Okay, so we're just going to put in the smoke box. So my idea is to rest it over the top there while that heats up. Then we're going to pop those straight over the top of that box, and you should get the smoke come up through. And we'll come back in about 15 minutes and take a look. Okay, so we are 2 hours in, and we're starting to get a nice little bit of meat retraction on the bone, as you can see. Yeah, not much to report really. Smelling absolutely amazing. I wish that there was a smell function on here, because you would be just amazed by how good this is smelling. But Duncan says to wrap, but I don't think I'm actually going to bother. I think I'm just going to run all the way through with these, because the keg obviously holds so much moisture. But yeah, these are looking decent. Okay, so we are now at the 3 hour mark, and just look at the colour on those ribs. The smell is incredible. It's looking really, really nice. And we're probably going to go, I think, another hour, and then we're going to start with our glaze, and I'll show you how to make that in about 45 minutes. Now, Duncan says to wrap these ribs, but I am not going to bother wrapping them. I'm going to go all the way through, because there's so much moisture in that chamber. So now let's head on over, and we're going to make our amazing glaze. Okay, so first things first, straight in with 1 tablespoon of ginger. I'll put all the recipe quantities into the description to make it easier to follow along. 125 ml of soy sauce, rice cooking wine, ketchup, sambal alec, never heard of this, smells quite nice though. Unfortunately, it didn't record after the ketchup, so I will put obviously all the ingredients below, because there is a few more after that. But we're also going in with the orange juice here, quite a lot of this, and then we're just going to mix all of that together, and it does smell really, really nice. And then we're just going to pop that onto the barbecue. Okay, so glaze is now on. Let's close that lid down. I'm going to open up the top vent to 3 and the bottom vent to 3 as well, and we're going to get that up to about 150 degrees for the last 45 minutes. Okay, so we're just going to now mop these. Doesn't say about mopping them, but it's my favourite way to sauce, and that's for sure. And can we just take a look at that glaze on those ribs? That is incredible. Really liking the look of those. I think we're just going to give it another 5-10 minutes sat there on the Broil King, and then we'll get them off. Now just look how dark and deep that glaze is on those ribs. Really nice. Really looking forward to trying these. Smells really good. So the glaze is looking really decent. So we're just going to slice straight down here. I'm going to take one of these ribs straight off. And let's just get this one out. Oh, just look at that beauty. Absolute perfection right there. And now that is a rib that I'm looking forward to biting into, and you just know it's going to be nice and bite through. Oh my god, how good do those ribs look? They were absolutely insane. Duncan, mate, that recipe is amazing. I mean, the flavours that run through that, absolutely amazing. And I loved how much smoke you got from that smoking packet. Really, really good idea. And also, all my neighbours were saying, what are you cooking? It smells absolutely amazing. And I think that smoking packet had a lot to do with that as well. So there you have it. That is Duncan's ribs, and they are absolutely amazing. All the recipe and ingredients will be in the description below if you want to give these a go. And if you've got a recipe that you want me to try out, drop it on an email to myself. The email is below in the description. Drop it on an email and I'll do my best to try and make a video on it. And there you go guys, another fantastic recipe. Thank you so much Duncan, I really appreciate it.
So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join me next time for another edition of Will's Grill Shack. Thanks for watching.